Morning, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order. This is a special meeting of Town Council pursuant to Section 6.1 of the Town Charter for the purpose of our new 2025-26 Council reorganization. Welcome everybody in attendance and those live streaming. As we are in between last year's council and this year's, I, as the 2025 mayor, will serve as the chair until a new mayor is confirmed. As with every organization meeting, the first item of order of business is swearing in of the newly elected council members by our alderman, Charles McMullen. As you know, they are Jerry Morris, Teresa Keel, and our newest member, Mark Tanowitz. So is Charlie right there? Okay.
Right out of mine, Mr. Mayor.
Can we do right up front here?
If you'd like to remain in our seats and stand, or come out here.
I think they should come out there and stand.
If you would, please raise your right hands. I'll start out with I, and then you'll say your name after that, and we'll read it. I do solemnly swear upon this holy Bible to execute my duties as a member of Town Council, Town of Bethany Beach, equity and justice, and to perform my duties efficiently, diligently, and faithfully, in accordance with the Charter of the Town of Bethany Beach, the Constitution of the State of Delaware, and the Constitution of the United States. So help me God. Congratulations. You all sign your paper. Great, I can take it upstairs and certify it and leave it with the town manager.
Do I have that here, or do you have it?
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mark, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. Charlie, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations and welcome to those newly elected and our newest council member, Mark Tanowitz. Also, a special thank you to our departing council member, Patrick Shepley, who is in the audience, for his 8 years of service on council and numerous contributions to the town. We will certainly miss you, but also look forward to your continued town service in other roles. Thank you, Patrick. On behalf of council, I would like to say that we are all privileged to begin another year of service to the citizens of Bethany Beach. Also with us today are our Assistant Town Manager, Terry Deeman, our Town Clerk, Raylene Menominee, Will Wharton, our Director of IT, and Cliff Gravier, Town Manager. Before we begin, and as a clarification for why this meeting is held at 10 o'clock on Monday, the Town Charter, Section 5.4.5, provides that the election is held on the Saturday after Labor Day. Section 6.1 of the Charter requires us that an organization meeting of the Town Council be held as soon as possible upon expiration of 7 days following the election. Monday, 9/15 was the soonest business day this meeting could have been held, but due to federal court scheduling in Wilmington last Monday, most of council attended the sentencing of our past chief and captain that day. The soonest date following that date that a full council could meet is today, 9/22. If we could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I'm going to do a little flip here, just because I think the agenda flows better. So we're going to do announcements before we go into the ground rules. As you know, Labor Day marked the end of the summer season. Our pay-to park is now ended, and we are settling into the fall shoulder season. On behalf of the town council, our residents and homeowners, our businesses and visitors, I want to recognize and thank town manager, the assistant town manager, and the unbelievable town staff and seasonal workers who pulled off another outstanding, safe, and fun summer. They served our visitors, kept us safe, enabled a spectacular 4th of July with fireworks, and got us through a rough August and Hurricane Erin on the beach. Thanks go out to the Public Works, our incredible #1 in the nation beach patrol again, the police department, parking department, code enforcement, the water department, our administrative staff, our events director, the nature center, the museum, as well as finance, building inspector, town clerk, front desk, and IT. All worked long hours to keep the town safe, clean, and running efficiently. They are the backbone of Bethany Beach, and truly appreciated. They make Bethany the incredible town that it is. Thank you for another spectacular summer. Also, I'd like to thank our Bethany Beach Fire Department and EMS, who also had a busy summer. We have a new staff member joining Bethany Beach now. Her name is Kathy Rossi. She will be the Director of Communications, which is a part-time position. She'll be working mainly on the newsletter, so that we get a newsletter out every other month. Kathy, if you just kind of stand up so we can acknowledge you. Thank you. Okay. Public comment. Do we have anyone who wishes to make a comment? Seeing none, we'll go on to the next item.
The first item we'll cover is the approval of the ground rules.
Council, you have received a copy of our guiding ground rules and briefing materials. These are the same ground rules we have been in effect for years. Most of the ground rules apply to council. However, there is one that applies to public comment and states that during the selection of officers, there is not to be any opportunity for public comment. The last ground rule is that any council member who does not wish to serve as an officer during the coming year is asked at this time to state his desire. Is there anyone who does not want to? And seeing none, we will proceed.
Next, we'll have the summary and discussion for clarification of the responsibilities of the Secretary-Treasurer, the Vice Mayor, and the Mayor.
Okay, a copy of Section 6 of the Town Charter with a description of duties has been provided to all council members. Are there any questions or clarifications needed? Okay, then we'll proceed.
Okay, nominations and selection by the council of persons to fill the responsibilities of secretary, treasurer, vice mayor, and mayor. We'll start with the mayor.
We will. Start with the mayor first. Are there any nominations?
Mayor, I'd like to nominate yourself. And a couple comments to go with that, if you don't mind.
It's only a couple.
When we talked about this, my colleague, Mr. Morris, asked me as part of this to do a PowerPoint presentation, which I got really excited about. Then I recognized he was being a bit sarcastic, so I had to step back a little bit. But when I was thinking about what we wanted to do to nominate Ron, he and I run into each other often in the morning walking our dogs. And literally about a week ago, he was almost in front of Town Hall. I was further up on Garfield Parkway. I saw Ron, and I started thinking about this. And three things came to mind immediately that I wanted to share with you as part of my comments. One is his love of Bethany. And this is really a team effort because it goes with Carol as well. It's sort of a team effort here. But no matter what we're talking about, no matter how happy, how joyful, how contentious things can sometimes be, Ron always ends with a comment that sort of goes like, you know what, we're so lucky to live in Bethany Beach. And it's a great spot, isn't it? And, it's something to really keep in perspective. So I really appreciate that. And he not only says it, not in a boastful way, not to get publicity, but just in a truly meaningful way. And it always strikes me, and I think it's so true. So
Your 3 minutes are up.
So the other one was his listening, and I want to say listening specifically with intent. And his intent is always to learn. When we've had dialogue with members of the community, with ourselves, whoever, right, different community groups, Ron always truly listened. Some people talk about active listening. He does it with intent, and that intent is always to learn. Right? It's not to prejudge. It's not to reframe your argument. It's not how you're going to go back. It's to learn. And that approach, I think, is something we can all learn from, especially in today's times, right? Let's listen to each other with the intent of truly listening. And the last thing that I wanted to highlight, and this is the last one, Jerry, is his work.
Did he read the ground rules?
Is his work ethic. Ron works tirelessly. He attends all the committee meetings. He leads a couple. He attends all the various functions we have in town, and also reaches out to the various communities for our various networks, whether it's SCAD or the Delaware League, and all the other behind-the-scenes effort, which is tireless. I mean, he really spends a tremendous amount of time. So that work ethic is one of the things I wanted to highlight as well. So with that, council, do we have a nomination? Second?
You just need to
You
nominate.
just made the nomination.
Oh, I got to go to page 2 here. I'm sorry. No, I truly, Ron, thank you for everything you do. And
Thank you,
it's
Mickey.
also an honor to call you a friend. So
Oh, same here. Are there any other nominations? Seeing that there are none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Thank you again for the confidence you've placed in me. It has been a learning year for me, and I thank you all for your support. I think it has been a good and productive year working with the citizens of Bethany. I continue to look forward to working as part of this exceptional team for the benefit of the entire town of Bethany Beach. Thank you. Vice Mayor, are there any nominations?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Jerry Morris for the office of Vice Mayor. And I'll yield my 3 minutes back to Jerry.
Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
aye.
Congratulations, Jerry, and thank you.
Thank you. It's going to be a pleasure serving. This will be going into my 11th year with the council.
Wow.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that many.
What's the record? 4-year-old.
Secretary Treasurer, are there any nominations?
Yes, I would like to nominate Teresa Keel for Secretary Treasurer. I would say more, but Jerry, Mickey took all my time, so that's all I've got to say.
Are there any others? Seeing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Again, it's unanimous. Congratulations, and thank you, Mrs. Steele.
Thank you.
Nomination for Planning and Zoning Council Representative and Non-Residential Design Review Chair. Mayor.
I would like to nominate Bob Rush for this position. I think he will be great in it. This, as you know, this is a planning and zoning rep for council, and that person is also the chair of the Non-Residential Design Review Committee. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Congratulations, Bob.
I'm over here now.
I'm
Thank
used
you
to
very
over
much.
there.
This is, we try to keep you on your toes.
You are. Okay, next one is set the dates and time of town council meetings. Mr. Morris, would you like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we set our town council meetings for the third Friday of every month of 2026
Okay, at 2 o'clock,
at 2 o'clock.
as normal. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Discussion and consideration for possible vote on committee chair appointments. Mayor?
Thank you, Jerry. Each year at this time, council appoints committee chairs. I recommend that the following be appointed to the chair of our standing committees. This would be the Audit Committee, Frank Myers; Bicycle and Pedestrian Safety, Mickey Hinman and Teresa Keel as co-chairman; Budget and Finance, Teresa Keel; Charter and Ordinance Review Committee, Rich McHugh; Culture and Historical Affairs Committee, Carol Califf; 4th of July Committee, Chris Lawrence; and Stormwater and Flood Committee, myself. That's a committee that's kind of near and dear to my heart, and I would like to stay on it. As a matter of clarification, the Planning and Zoning, the Board of Adjustment, and the Police Accountability Committees are state-mandated committees, and they select their own chairman. Before we go into new business items, I would like to state that there will be an opportunity for public comment to address questions in each of the initial council discussion, after initial council discussion, and before any council vote. Did we vote? No. Let's jump back one here. I don't think we
didn't vote
voted
the dates.
on the committee chairs. Now that I've read them, is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Mrs. Gill. Somebody's got to keep me straight here. Okay. So we read new business items, the opportunity for public questions, to address public questions after initial council discussion and before any council vote. Okay, the next item, discussion, consideration, and possible vote on the selection of a loop canal timber retaining wall bid in the amount of $1,370,131 from Mertec Marine Division. Mr. Gravier.
Mayor, council, this has been certainly a project that's been a long time coming. Part of that has been design. A lot of it has been permitting. I would say we have a good 4 years into this. I mean, so. Yes, it began with John Apple, and it's been quite a process. The project was put out for bid. Our original engineer's estimate for the project was $1.1 million. The bid came back, as you know, as $1,370,131. We only had one bid, and that probably is one of the things that has impacted the difference in the estimate and what the actual bid was. Mertec is a very large marine construction company based out of Salisbury. They do extensive work for Maryland, the city of Ocean City, and Wycomico County. This project is for a timber retaining wall and for a living shoreline for the interior of Lake Bethany. You have supporting documentation. Eventually, this project, if it moves forward today, will need a $242,000 supplement to the budget because our budget line here is $1,128,000 for the project.
Okay. Do we need to adjust that in the budget?
We'll do a supplement at some time in the
Okay.
future.
Okay.
Cliff, just a correction. It does not include the living shoreline. We're still in permitting process for the living shoreline.
So the 1.1 was simply the retaining wall? Yes.
And Mertec, I believe, just did some work up at the inlet for Denrec too as well, didn't they?
I believe Mertec was involved in that. I mean,
Okay.
they are the large marine company, marine
Yeah.
construction company in the area.
And I imagine there's not too many specializing in that that field.
I think many smaller companies don't have the type of equipment that will be needed for that 850 feet of the retaining wall.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Cliff, I know we talked about this before, but can you just remind me, is this like a generational project, like you do it, it's good for 20, 25 years, or did we do it before at some point, or I'm just foggy on my...
No, it's the bank has been natural, if you will, since the loop canal was dug, and the bank is deteriorating. So this will be something, hopefully, it will last as long as timber retaining walls normally last, but it's the first time we've done this.
Good. Thank you.
Can I ask a question? Does the cost of this include the plantings that we're doing, or is that additional cost?
Is that with the,
It does include a lot of planning.
It does include that? Okay, thank you.
So my clarifying question, same on the budget. When we talk about the 1.37, the point that was raised around it didn't exclude, is that within the 1.3, or would that be potentially more on top of?
that would be more on top of it?
Okay. And that is, when we go through, if we're voting to approve this today, pending finalization of the total committed spend, once we're aware of the engineering? And
You're voting to approve the construction of the timber wall today. We'll come back with the living shoreline.
okay. But the total cost of the project will not be finalized until when?
Until we get bids back for the living shoreline.
Okay. And that is when?
When's it?
Sorry. We expect to have the permitting process completed by December, and then we'll move forward with but the Army Corps of Engineers and DENREC have to approve the permits for that project. So once they're approved, then we can go forward with finalizing plans and bidding the project.
So we likely, this might even be in a 26 budget item, like a next year's budget item, the living shoreline.
It could be, but we have spoken with DENREC, and they're amenable to doing our living shoreline as long as we don't affect the heron rookery that takes place from March 1st. So the bigger project is the retaining wall, and that would have a bigger, more impact on the rookery than the living shoreline. So we think we're going to play it by ear, but we think we can get it done quicker than waiting until next year, but hopefully. Yes, thank you, fingers crossed.
So these are two separate projects.
It's preservation of the land strip, but they've been treated as two separate projects because of the different permitting process that the living shoreline has to go through. Because we put the retaining wall behind the mean high water line, there was no permitting process, and we can accomplish that a little bit faster than the living shoreline.
Okay. And Dave, I mean, this is a hard bid. Once we approve it, the
That's
construction
fine,
will
understood.
start. We'll
Full support of
proceed.
the project. I'm just making sure I have a clear understanding of when we'll know exactly what the total amount will be. It sounds like we've got some permitting to go through. That's all. Just want to be clear on that.
Okay. Do we have a motion to accept?
Can I ask one other question?
Yes. I mean, we usually do the motion second.
Okay.
And have
All right.
discussion.
Okay.
I'll make the motion. So move.
Do we have a
Second.
Okay, discussion. Go.
And I haven't heard any, Cliff or anyone else, but is there any pushback on this from residents in Lake Bethany or?
This has been Terry's project, her baby now for 3 years, and she's made every effort to make sure that Lake Bethany is well aware of what the project is. She's attended some homeowners meetings there,
Great.
made presentations, and I think everyone is aware and I'll say on board with the project.
Great, thank you. And if there's anything we can do to help out with that, just as council members for any of that, let us know, because it's good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any more discussion?
Cliff, the original budget of 1.1, did that include the
Yeah.
living shoreline?
Yes, it did.
Okay, so we sort of don't know what that's going to be, but it's going to be incremental.
So the living shoreline is it won't be anywhere near as costly as this project, given what it's made from, core logs and some clam bags, if you will. So we don't look for a large cost with a living shoreline at all.
And, okay, and then the lifespan of this improvement is how long?
So the timber retaining wall should be good for decades and decades. The living shoreline is another issue, and they become problematic, and you can look at replacing living shorelines once every few years, depending on the amount of wave action and tidal action that the shoreline is subjected to.
Gotcha, thank you.
But, you know, in Lake Bethany, I mean, all you're gonna get is effect of wind-blown water or whatever, waves, just within Lake Bethany. So you're not having the effect of the bay, for instance.
Well, we did a living shoreline on the north side of the strip that abuts, if you will, the salt pond, and it didn't last very long at all. It was
Yeah,
gone
but that's in-
within a couple
that's in the
years.
salt
So there is a little bit more tidal action, a little bit more wave action, but you'll have some of that in Lake
Some.
Bethany too.
Yeah, okay. Okay, any further council discussion? Any discussion? Anybody want to say anything in the audience? Okay. Those in favor?
Aye.
Seeing, believe everybody was in favor, motion carries. Discussion, consideration, and possible vote on a contract for Half Moon Boulevard improvements and the 2025 street paving in the amount of $381,220 from Adel Construction. Mr. Gravier.
Mayor, Council, this is another project that has been years in the making for a variety of reasons. This is a engineered solution proposed by our engineer to make the entrance to the diner and the bicycle shop on Route 26 more safe than it is today. You have a diagram. You'll see that there's a solid median now that will make people go down and do a little bit of a U to get back into the diner. We have tried over the course of time to put pylons up. People just run over the pylons. That wasn't effective. So this is a solution, we hope. We have gone to the time and effort to contact all affected property owners in the area. We've had conversations with the Bethany West HOA regarding the project, and we believe everyone is on board. The low bidder, there were 4 bids received. The low bidder for the project was Adel Construction with a cost of $381,221. Adel is a very large construction company, and we have past experience with Adel. Adel is the company that constructed our park, Central Park. So we've had a very positive relationship with them and are pleased with the work they do. So you have that purchase order in front of you.
And that also includes the street paving.
Yes.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's a significant amount right there, which we do every year.
Yes, it's part of the 25
And that's the
paving.
street paving throughout the whole town, or is it just this section that you're talking?
It's our
Normal street
our
paving.
normal street paving.
Okay, do we have a motion to accept, or do we ever,
So moved.
I'll second.
okay, any further discussion?
The only question I have is,
Just
Cliff,
that-
do you have any dates when they might get started?
I
After we
believe they're
approve it?
looking to start here late fall.
April? Good.
Yeah, I think just to add a comment too, it's from, while we often think about the challenges with that intersection from a vehicle perspective of cars coming in different directions. Literally, I was faced with, after a board meeting the other day, left, and there was a car coming head at me by the diner. So that's sort of the challenge, but that's actually just part of it. The real driver of this is around pedestrian safety on that whole crossover there, because with the cars going in all kinds of different directions, it creates a degree of uncertainty about how pedestrians react to that. So it's not just it's not just for the vehicular traffic, but it's also to make a safer that crosswalk there, so you don't have quite as many people coming from as many angles. So that's
We've actually experienced some accidents there, I believe.
I believe so. We've definitely had near misses, close calls for sure. So almost daily you can see something. So thank you. It's been a good project, and we have had good interaction with Bethany West and the like.
Long time coming, though, so.
Any more discussion on council? Anybody in the audience have anything to say? Those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Discussion, consideration, and possible vote on a resolution authorizing the submission of a recreation parks and trails grant request. I'm going to read the resolution, and then I'm going to ask Terry Tiemann, who handles our grants, just to make a few comments on it. This is a resolution by the mayor and the town council, and as a clarification, this is something that is required in order to submit this grant to, is it Sussex County, or is this?
It's DENREC, Parks and Recreation Grant, and that is part of the grant requirement. We need to
Have a
just,
resolution.
we need to check a box, yes.
Okay.
Mayor, and if I could, this is our initial attempts to put the funds together to construct the park. We have not settled on a concept. We are nowhere near that. This proposal you have here from Liberty Parks, and those dollars are that proposal you see on this board over here. At the point in time where we have a better idea of funding, we'll do the deep dive, we'll finalize concepts, and we'll get bids. So these are just dollars, the approximate dollars, what we think the project will cost at this point in time. But we need to do the resolution with a dollar amount and a description in order to satisfy grant requirements.
Okay. This is just to meet a requirement of the grant submission process. Okay. Whereas the town of Bethany Beach recognizes the importance of recreation, parks, and trails in enhancing quality of life, promotion of health and wellness, and providing safe and accessible public amenities, and whereas the town of Bethany Beach Council desires to apply for a recreation, parks, and trails grant in the amount of $150,000, and whereas the total cost of the project is estimated at $532,348, and as Cliff just clarified, this is not a final amount. This is just an estimate, and it's on one concept. We haven't settled on a concept yet, so things could change. of which the town of Bethany Beach will provide $382,348 as its local share. Whereas the town of Bethany Beach town manager's designee is hereby assigned as project manager to oversee the administration and implementation of the project, and whereas the town of Bethany Beach is committed to ensuring the long-term success and sustainability of this investment by maintaining the property, with the Department of Public Works performing regular maintenance and upkeep, and whereas the town of Bethany Beach further commits to annual inspections of equipment for safety and has budgeted approximately $5,000 annually within the Public Works Department budget for ongoing maintenance, with additional funding allocations as necessary. Now therefore, by the town of Bethany Beach, that the council hereby approves the submission of a Recreation Parks and Trails grant request in the amount of $150,000. The council acknowledges the financial commitment of $382,348 as a town of Bethany Beach share of the project. The council designates the town manager's designee as project manager. The council affirms its commitment to the continued maintenance, inspection, and safety of the property and equipment as outlined above. It be further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately upon adoption. Terry, do you want to make any comments? Possibly
I
on...
will just say that this is a project that the Public Works Director has indicated for the last couple of years that we need to consider. The project is replacing aged end-of-life equipment on our Children's Municipal Park, which is located at the northwest corner of the Garfield Parkway and Pennsylvania Avenue. It's a heavily used park by children and their families. The park would improve it by adding additional equipment that's ADA compliant, and would also add a rubberized surface, which will make mobility on it easier and eventually easier to maintain. Right now, it's mulch there. So the park is located near our downtown area and 2 blocks from the Atlantic Ocean. It is also adjacent to a volleyball court and a basketball court, which are in good condition, and there are no drainage, utility slope, or erosion concerns it typically does not flood. So there's many drainage basins over there to make sure of that. So we believe that this is a good project, but as the town manager said, we will make a decision that, there's high competition for this grant money, and so we may not get the full 150 and we'll have to go back, but this is a necessary part of applying for that grant. They want to make sure that we are committed to it and that we will maintain it. And I think our history says so, but resolution helps, so that's why we're asking to do the resolution at this time.
Okay, thank you. Council, do we have a motion to accept this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion, council?
I have one comment. Cliff, you've touched on this in previous meetings, but can you give a little background on how we got to 500,000? Like the price of this equipment has gone up significantly, right?
20 years ago, I think one of the first things I did, one of the first projects we did was putting the playground equipment in just about 20 years ago. The cost for what's there now was about $60,000. A couple of years ago, when Brett came in and began to talk about the equipment deteriorating and the need to upgrade, we picked up a couple of proposals and some layouts, and we were astounded to see that the cost had increased to over $500,000. A large part of that is the surface, but the equipment has also become incredibly expensive for some reason also.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the surface is a very different surface than the surface that is there.
It's a very different surface. It's ADA approved, and it's what you see in the world today for park surfaces. But it's expensive, and it has a fairly, not a super long life either, for that matter. So,
Is the 150 the most we can ask for, or is that more of a strategy this year?
that's the most we can ask for. But you can accrue. You can go back multiple years and add to your funds with grants.
Okay, okay.
But as Terry said, there's a lot of competition.
There's a
for
strategy
this.
involved with it as well. Okay.
The property that is on is church property.
Yes, it is.
I know we've had a very loose agreement with them in the past to use the property, and in that we're investing this amount of money to go on their property, how is that relationship going to continue?
So we lease that property from the church, and the church generously lets us lease it for $1 a year. But we would go back, and we've had dialogue with the church, and the church is committed at the point in time we're ready to make a large investment in the park to enter into a long-term lease with us with a yearly lease amount that we would negotiate. So instead of the $1 a year, I'm sure we're going to be looking at 10, 15, 20, some number in the future for a yearly lease, for a long-term lease,
Okay.
which is something we'd have to have in hand when we finalized accepting our grant money or applying that grant money to a purchase.
Okay. So that has yet to be done.
That is yet to be done.
Okay.
Again, we're trying to pull in some funds given the expense of the project, so.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, Terry, you said that this is not going to include the basketball court or the volleyball court. We're going to just leave them like they are, or we're going to try to do any updating?
They're in good condition, according to Brett.
Okay. As a comment, over the weekend, I had the auspicious, had my grandkids with us, and Judy and I are totally wiped out, by the way. They're 9 and 7, 3 of them, but they're like triplets, and one of them doesn't think of, the other will. However, as a part of this, trying to keep them busy, we took them up to the Lewis Park, which is relatively new. And unlike most parks that I've seen, they don't have chopped up tires or ground cover or anything. The surface there was cushioned. You walked on it, you almost felt like you were walking on a carpet. It was, I can see why the price is going up significantly. Like the upgrade was amazing. The kids ran around and they had a great time. So if our park is anything like that, I think we hit a home run.
Well, the new park in Millville has the same type of surface. I think all the parks in all the Cape Henlopen school districts and all that new construction all have that type of surface, and it is cushioned.
It's cushioned.
Yeah.
It's quite an upgrade.
It's also pervious.
Yes.
Okay. An important factor.
Yeah, you know, around the surface, because we recently did this in Bethany West, replace our park or playground, and we elected to go with not having the surface because that was a significant part of the cost. But you end up with, I mean, we had some difference of opinion. We went with it, it's fine. But what you end up with is yearly maintenance, mulching, all that kind of stuff if you don't do this. So I actually like this option, whatever the surface is, even though it does tend to wear out over time. It's, I think it's the better long-term solution for us. So.
Public Works really likes it, as opposed to constantly trying to maintain the mulch in the park.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, that's that, yeah.
Okay. Any further discussion, council? Any comments from the audience? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. That concludes our meeting for today. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody in attendance and those listening online. Stay safe and enjoy the fall shoulder season. One of the best seasons in town.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We had a beach, though.